This is the Misfortunate Matikanetannhauser by Yangwithagi. I always forget how to pronounce his name, and then chat always has to correct me. So we'll just say Yang. Let us watch.
After Matikanetannhauser was added to the Japanese version of Umamusume in 2022, fans instantly fell in love with her earnest, clumsy personality.
I know I did, but to be fair, it was mainly due to the Chinese memes? I did not know anything about her, but I would always see her in a bunch of memes. And then when she finally came to global, I was like, I need her. I don't want her. I need her. And I got
At the end
her.
of that year, a Chinese fan made an MAD by combining her Omatsuri Mambo song with the song Funky Town, and a massive Mambo meme craze ignited across the internet.
And that's what made me love her too. By the way, I can tell you, I know why he's showing these videos but not playing the music to them. Ask me how I know.
Which only intensified with the release of Global. However, before the
Run.
Mambo meme swept the world,
Run, Mambo.
Matikanetannhauser swept the hearts of Japanese horse racing fans. In contrast to horses like Oguri Cap or Haru Urada, who were remembered for their results, or lack thereof, Tannhauser became famous not because of the races he won, nor the records he set. Through a series of unfortunate events in 1994, he galloped his way to stardom because of the races he missed. Despite how much the game wants us to believe,
I'm trying to think. Do I know anything about the actual horse? I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen anything about the actual horse. The only things I'm really familiar with, technically, with her is just the memes. Am I brain rot? No.
Machitan was an ordinary Umamusume. In terms of pedigree, that was far from the truth. The horse's real bloodline belonged to elite thoroughbreds. His sire was none other than Northern Taste, but you might know him better by
Nepo
the name
baby.
Director Akikawa. Northern Taste
Yang, no! You know too much!
had a moderately successful racing career with 3 graded wins, one being a French G1. But more importantly, he was Japan's leading sire for 11 consecutive years during the 1980s and early 90s. Not only that,
Yang isn't going to show the video of the Umamusume again, right? From the director? I remember that from last time.
He was the son of legendary Northern Dancer who was among the top 100 racehorses of the 20th century, which means Tannhauser had the most direct lineage to Northern
fellow
Dancer
American.
out of all Umamusume in the game, including the Japanese version. Fun fact, although Matikanetannhauser was the only son of Northern Taste added
Is that how you say that? Is it Heuser? I've always been pronouncing it Hauser. Well, look at that. I'm learning how to pronounce multiple names today.
to the game, 2 of Taste's offspring appear in Cinderella Grey. As for Machitan's dam, Tripsy, even though she had an unsuccessful racing career, she was valued for being the granddaughter of Star Roach, the first 3-year-old mare in history to win the Arimakinen, which was a feat that would not be achieved again until 64 years later in 2024.
I didn't know that.
Roughly 2 years after Tannhauser's birth on May 7, 1989, Inahara Farm sold him the Masuo Hosokawa,
Oh, hi Suzuka. What were you doing there?
the same person who became Machikane Fukukitaru's owner several years later.
You see how easily he says that name? Oh, I gotta go back and hear that again.
Machikane Fukukitaru's owner.
Man, he just rolls right off the tongue. I gotta say it slow, and I gotta just call her Fuku-chan so that way I don't make a fool of myself. Alright, I could do it. Matikane Fukukitaru. That was awful. You know, let's just hit play. Let's watch the experts. I just need to stop trying. Story of my life.
Several years later. Like all his past horses, Hosokawa gave his new racer the title Matikane, which was derived from Matikane Yama, a hill near his hometown of Toyonaka City in Osaka Prefecture. The latter part of Machitan's name, Tannhauser, comes from Richard Wagner's opera Tannhauser und der Sangkrieg of Wartburg.
This man can speak every language in the world? Holy, I wasn't prepared for Yang's skill level. All I can speak is American. Tannhauser under Sangkrieg auf Wartburg. Got it. See, guys, I can speak every language too. You guys hear that? Perfect pronunciation?
Or more commonly known as Tannhauser. An interesting detail about Richard Wagner. There are several portraits of him wearing his hat in a very familiar
Wow. I never caught that reference. Is that a coincidence? I don't know.
manner. Furthermore, his opera, Tannhäuser, consists of 3 acts, and Wagner made 3 versions of it. If you look at Machitan's secrets, it says she is currently on her 3rd cat. Coincidence?
Ooh.
But the most interesting thing about Richard Wagner's opera was that his wife, Cosima, claimed Richard was unsatisfied with Tannhäuser and had been revising it before he passed away. I still owe Tannhäuser to the world. Under the About section of Machitan's profile, the game calls her an unpolished gem, which, as we'll soon find out, was a reoccurring theme during Matikanetannhauser's racing career. Going back to Tannhäuser's name, in the same vein as Matikane Fukukitaru's name was too long, Matikanetannhauser's name also exceeded the Paris Agreement's 18-character limit, which includes spacing for naming horses. Additionally,
I remember someone telling me about that in the past.
The Japan Blood Horse Breeders Association does not allow more than 9 katakana characters for horse names, so the long vowel originally at the end of Tannhäuser had to be dropped. Fun fact, Matikanetannhauser was not Hosokawa's first choice for a name. Initially,
what was the
he
first?
registered the horse's name as Matikane Kogane Maru, but changed it for
Oh my goodness, that would have been even harder to say than what it currently is.
undisclosed reasons. Soon after his purchase, Hosokawa entrusted his horse to trainer Yuji Ito, Japan's top trainer back in 1983, 84, and 87, and had previously trained many of Hosokawa's horses. Funnily, the stable staff quickly noticed Machitan's crooked blaze and gave him the nickname Hanamogera, which roughly translates to funny-looking nose guy.
Aw. Oh, is that why she has nosebleeds? Is that what that's a reference to?
When it came to training, Tannhäuser earnestly ran with all his might, which led to him wasting too much energy and tiring out quickly.
Aww.
He pulled so hard that most of his training riders could not restrain him during a run, which prompted Ito to say, "If you can hold Tannhäuser, then you're a real professional." As the months passed and training progressed smoothly, everyone's expectations for Machitan dramatically grew, which had many staff members calling him Northern Taste's last big shot. With high hopes for his future potential,
Team
Ito
Canapes.
recruited Yutaka Take to ride during Machitan's debut race. On September 15, 1991, Matikanetannhauser ran
Go,
his
Mambo.
debut race at the
Go.
1700-meter Chukyo racecourse and exceeded everyone's expectations. Not only did he take first place, but he finished 6 full lengths ahead of the next horse and set a new course record of 1 minute 43.1 seconds. Full of excitement, trainer Ito registered Machitan for the 1600-meter Ichio Stakes and declared, "He has the makings of a classic horse. He will show the difference in class." Sad to say, but on the day of the race, the only difference he showed was 3 placements behind first.
Oh, it is Matikanetannhauser. So I've been saying it wrong. Well, to be fair, I call her Mambo. But I've been saying it wrong this whole time. What else have I been saying wrong? Is my whole life a lie?
Despite newspapers marking him as the favorite to win, Machitan could not handle the rainy, sloppy track, struggled on the final stretch, and finished in 4th. Even so, Ito was hyper-focused on the classics, and in preparation for it, he registered Tannhäuser for another race at Tokyo. However, Yutaka Take left to ride another. For the next 2 years
how
of
could
Tannhäuser's
he?
career, except for 2 races, Yukio Okabe, the man who rode Symboli Rudolph to fame, became his rider. 3 weeks later, Machitan entered the 1800-meter Fuchu-san size stakes in the middle of November and completely overwhelmed his opponents.
There
On
we
the
go.
final stretch before the goal, at 300 meters remaining,
Let's
Matikanetannhauser
go,
broke
Mambo.
away from the pack
Let's
and
go,
dashed towards the
Mambo.
finish line. With no rain to impair his running form, Machitan finished the race in first by 3 lengths ahead of second place.
Nice.
After the race, Ito proudly boasted, "Next year's classics belong to this horse." And so, Tannhäuser's first year of racing came to a close. Well, that's what everyone assumed. Yuji Ito was known for not pushing his trainees too harshly and takes his time letting them mature. Yukio Okabe often insisted for the same philosophy, so many racing enthusiasts assumed they would break for winter and let Machitan rest. But 1 week before the Asahi High,
Wait, what is this? Mambo, who was worked up the hill course on Wednesday, has been suddenly entered in the Asahi High 3-year-old stakes. After much hesitation, trainer Ito Yuji finally made the decision. The truth behind the sudden story. Final workout and shocking news. This just got interesting.
Ito announced Tannhauser's participation.
With such a small field, he can run smoothly. I want to secure prize money and make his classic entry more certain.
However, entering the Asahi High meant he had to race against the strongest sprinter of his generation. A horse that was programmed to run with machine-like precision.
I
He
see.
had to race against Mihono Bourbon.
That makes more sense. Okay. I wonder who's going to win this race.
Unsurprisingly, racing critics felt Machitan had no shot of winning.
He can't beat Bourbon in 1600 meters. No one can beat him at short distances.
In response, Ito explained,
I say it every time. I know you guys already know I'm going to say it, but I got to say it every time I watch Yang for those voices. Peak.
Even if he lacks speed, his raw talent alone should get him second. If he can get close to Bourbon here, next year will be even more exciting.
inspired by the trainer's words, Tannhauser's small fan base felt a sliver of hope. The small field of 8 competitors stayed tightly grouped together throughout the entire race. Once everyone entered the final straight, Tannhauser hugged the inner rail as they spurted to the finish. He was placed among the back half at the 200-meter marker. With so little distance remaining, Machitan only passed one opponent and finished the race in 4th place. As it turns out, trainer Ito was half right. Tannhauser did lack speed, but he did not come anywhere close to second. However, this race made everyone aware his strength lies in longer distances. For the remainder of his racing career, Matikanetannhauser never ran in anything less than 1800 meters. For the next 2.5 months, Tannhauser rested and...
okay, so his style was run a little bit medium, not short, because even though he wasn't fast, he could, what's the word I'm looking for? He had the energy to continue running, he just didn't have the speed to make up short distance and overtake, I'm assuming.
Then entered the Kyoto News High in mid-February. He started the race at the same time as the other horses, but several of them
Outlast? Yeah, that's probably a better way to say it.
pushed farther up after exiting their gates. Unlike his previous races, he advanced towards the front much earlier than normal.
Go Mambo!
After barely running 300 meters, he was already among the forefront of the pack and was less than a length behind the front-running horse by the halfway point. Tannhauser maintained his second-place position all the way through the final corner into the home stretch. But after passing the 200-meter marker, another horse overtook him on the right. 100 meters remained, and although he passed the horse he had been chasing since the start of the race, several other horses passed him as well. Tannhauser ended the race in 4th place once again.
No, the back-to-back fourths.
He did not fare any better in his next race at the Spring Stakes either.
Oh, Bourbon is in this.
Not only did he have to face off against Mihono Bourbon, but another horse known for his incredible sprinting prowess was partaking in this race, Sakura Bakshino. Although he managed to pass Bakshino on the final straight, the chestnut bullet train proved to be too fast and completely dominated every single horse that day.
Look at that lead. Jeez.
Tannhauser crossed the goal in 5th place, half a length behind Reischauer and almost 10 lengths behind Mihono Bourbon. After witnessing 2 poor finishes, Machitan fans were filled with doubt. Maybe he's not as good as we expected.
No, you just gotta believe.
The trainer reassured.
The real goal is further ahead.
Strangely, those words were enough to comfort them. After all, Yukio Okabe was still on board as Machitan's jockey. Trusting in the
Aw.
words and confidence of the
Turbo's
master trainer,
adorable.
the fans continued supporting Tannhauser for the upcoming classic races. Unfortunately, if you've seen Season 2 of Pretty Derby,
Nope.
then you know all too well how 1992's classic races end. In mid-April at the
I have not seen it, but I do know from just the game.
Satsuki show, from the start of the race until the last corner, Tannhauser ran in the far back. Pushed to the outside after exiting the corner, 13 horses were to his front. Even though he overtook 6 horses, it was simply not enough. Matitan placed
Mambo.
7th and racing fifth.
No, he's getting worse and worse. 4th, 4th, 5th, and now 7th.
Fans murmured the words, "I guess he's nothing special after all." Ito repeated the same phrase.
Fortunately, the trainer really has a good personality when it comes to his horses. Yeah, that's always good. You don't want to overwork them.
The real goal is further ahead.
The next month, with his belief and confidence unshaken, Ito entered Machitan in the 2,000-meter NHK high, which served as a trial race for the Japanese Derby. Starting among the far outside gate, Tannhauser initiated the race with a quick pace and chased after Reischauer, who ran towards the front early on.
Interesting.
After a few hundred meters of running up front, Reischauer pulled back, but Machitan held his position.
Yeah, I was going to say, normally Reischauer's running style isn't to rush forward like that. I wonder if that was a mistake by the jockey, but, well, he pulled back.
The race stayed unchanged during the middle leg and into the uphill section of the track, with Machitan being third from the front. Less than 600 meters remained once the cluster of horses arrived at the final corner.
Come on.
Everyone spread out wide.
Come
during
on,
the turn,
Mambo.
And Tannhauser was perfectly
Come on.
positioned in the middle among the front group of racers. Sprinting down the home stretch, he contested the lead position with another horse.
Go.
Although they were lined up at the 200-meter marker, Machitan's opponent slowly drifted farther up towards the goal,
No.
while another horse closed in on him from behind.
You can do
Luckily,
it.
He managed to get second place with a head's length difference.
Hey, improvement.
Several days after the race, Ito stated,
If I had tightened him fully for that NHK high, he'd have nothing left for the Derby. Everything has come together exactly as planned. Every race up till now has been preparation for the Derby. Well, just look forward to the result.
Oh no, don't tell me they're going to come in like 8th at the Derby.
3 weeks later, on the last day of May, Matikanetannhauser, Mihono Bourbon, Reischauer,
Holy, look at that crowd.
and 15 other racehorses entered the Japanese Derby. After leaving his starting gate, Tannhauser surged towards the front, but Mihono Bourbon, who had been placed at the far outside, came charging forward and
Holy, hold on, I gotta go back and look at freaking Bourbon's just speed and power, man.
but Mihono Bourbon, who had
Just look, I mean, thankfully Yang added the photo there. Look at how strong Bourbon pushes forward.
been placed at the far outside, came charging
Just barrels through. I mean, I know I get it due to the game and all that. They call her the cyborg, and I have seen Yang's video on Mihono Bourbon as well. But just to see that push forward like that, crazy impressive.
forward and claimed the lead. Like a well-oiled machine, Bourbon led the pack through every corner, straight, and even into the home stretch. By the time Tannhauser
Bourbon horse is a beefcake, true and real.
reached the final turn, he had fallen to the back and had to maneuver outwards to get
No.
around his opponents. But
I was joking when I said he was gonna get 8th.
despite this, he dug deep and galloped his way past numerous horses to steal a 4th place finish.
Well, you know what? Because I was afraid they're gonna get 8th. We'll take 4th.
Machitan may have lost the race, but his performance compared to the Satsuki show kindled a flame among his fans, especially after Okabe made his post-race comments. He got bumped at the first corner and lost his balance at the second. That nearly killed his momentum, but he still responded in the stretch. A normal horse would have been done, but he kept going. Considering that, we gained plenty today.
I really don't know if this guy is super coping or if he's some genius that can see between the code. Like he's seen the lines of the universe and I just don't see that yet. I'm not sure. I guess we're about to find out the more the video goes.
Fueled with passion from the jockey's words, fans speculated. Maybe he's a late bloomer. What if he keeps improving like this? If he grows exactly as the trainer intends, this horse might become unbelievably strong. Afterwards, Machitan rested for summer break, and while most racehorses returned to the track by September, Tannhauser did not return until the end of October. Staying true to his training philosophy, Ito wanted to give his trainee more time to develop.
He's definitely maturing. He's calmer now without the pulling he showed in spring. His body has become more powerful too.
To get back into a racing mindset, Tannhauser entered the 1800-meter open grade Cassiopeia Stakes and finished in second place.
Oh god, not Cassiopeia. That reminds me of League of Legends. I don't want to remember the League of Legends days.
Slightly disappointed from his placement, fans reassured themselves. He's better at longer distances. The unfinished talent will bloom at the Kika show.
Well, we do know what happens at the Kika show, so I still don't know though if the trainer is coping or not, or is a genius. I need to know.
They weren't the only ones who felt this way, because the late bloomer, who was ranked as the 7th and 8th favorite to win in the Satsuki Show and Japanese Derby, respectively, was now ranked as the 3rd favorite for the last round of the Classic Triple Crown. Unfortunately for Tannhauser, most of us already know exactly how this race plays out. Immediately after the start
Race
opened,
power.
Mihono Bourbon dashed to the front, but a few seconds later, another front-running horse, Kyoei Bogan, flew past the sideboard. The two horses engaged in a ferocious battle, and it dramatically increased the pace of the race. Machitan chased after them throughout the middle section.
Yeah, I remember that from watching the last Mihono Bourbon video. Bogan Strat and how they kind of messed with Bourbon in this race.
With Reischauer and all remaining horses several lengths behind him. Only after approaching the final corner did the massive gap between Bourbon and the other horses narrow. When exiting the turn and
Let's
entering
go.
the final straight,
Let's go,
Machitan was
Mambo.
lined up with Reischauer while Bourbon led the group. With less than 100 meters remaining, both Reischauer and Tannhauser caught up to Bourbon and sandwiched him along the side. After Reischauer overtook Bourbon for a split second, Machitan also passed him by the tip of his nose, but Bourbon regained his position and finished the race in second, with Tannhauser coming up short by a head's length. Everyone credits Reischauer for setting a new course record at the Kika show, but he wasn't the only one who beat the previous record. Thanks to the incredibly fast pace set by Kyoei Bogan, Machitan's finishing time was 3 minutes and 5.2 seconds, which meant he also beat the previous record, as well as the times of many prestigious horses from...
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Faster than CB, Rudolph, McQueen, Fuguchen, NTR, Manhattan Cafe, Hishimiracle, and Kiseki? Damn, okay.
from past and future. On another note, his performance at the Kika show gathered more horse racing fans as his supporters. Funnily, many of them were attracted to his name. For the remainder of the year, Matikanetannhauser returned to the Rito Training Center and spent the next 2 months resting during winter. A few days after the new year, the trainer entered Tannhauser in the Nikkan sports show Nakayama Kinpai and remarked,
Nakayama what? Excuse me?
Nakayama Kinpai,
Oh, never mind.
and remarked,
We believe he would blossom at 4, so we haven't pushed him too hard until now. I want to get him his 3rd win here and build momentum for the rest of the year.
starting from the outermost gate with Masato Shibata as a temporary rider, Machitan ran as close to the inner rail as the other horses would allow, while advancing
Ooh,
towards the front.
turbo.
He situated himself along the outside next to 2 other horses who were casually chasing after Twin Turbo. But instead of gaining ground on the front-running horse, Twin Turbo extended his lead even more. However, in spectacular Twin Turbo fashion,
Gassed
his
out.
massive advantage quickly diminished on the final corner, and multiple horses passed him on the home stretch. Sadly, Tannhauser was not one of those horses.
Wait,
Try as he might,
no.
this strong spurt was nowhere
No.
to be seen. If anything, it looked as if he was decelerating
Oh.
because so many horses overtook him. By the time Machitan reached the goal,
Okay, well, if just the other horses were faster, that's better, because I was like, no, don't tell me injury.
his placement dropped all the way down to 8th place.
Oh no, I predicted the future. Predicted or pre-watched? I'm going to say predicted. Yeah, we're going to go predicted because that makes me sound smarter.
About 3 weeks later, Tannhauser entered the 3,200-meter diamond stakes at Tokyo. Leaving his starting gate at a quick pace, Machitan ran third from the front during the early stages of the long race. Even after passing the first corner and running by the audience, Machitan stayed close to the front horses while the other 11 dragged behind by over 5 lengths.
You can do
That
it,
large
Mambo.
gap did not narrow on the second corner, nor the second straight, and even when traversing the uphill
I just want to see him get one more win. Just one more.
section. The distance difference finally shrank after going through the third corner.
Come on.
And by then, Machitan was in second.
Come on.
After
One more
entering
win.
the final turn, Tannhauser was lined up with the front-running horse, but accelerating on the outside meant he had more distance to cover. Regardless,
You can do it.
Tannhauser blasted
Let's
his
go.
way up and entered the home stretch
Let's
in
go.
first. After passing the 400-meter marker, he already
Come on.
established a comfortable 2-length lead, but he was
Come
not
on.
done yet.
There
Machitan
we go.
continued galloping down
There
the
we
track
go.
full speed ahead until he crossed the goal with a 3.5 length difference and set a new course record of 3 minutes and 16.8 seconds. Tannhauser's
Nice.
time was so fast that it was never beaten and cannot be beaten any longer since the track distance changed in 2004.
So the permanent record holder Mambo. Easy win. You see, those are the kind of records I want, to where you do it and have the best record and then it goes away and then you hold it permanently and no one can take it from you. Amazing.
It was just as the training staff and fans said. Matikanetannhauser was better at long distances. After conquering a G3, the next natural course of action was to enter the G2 Meguro Hinen. Slightly stumbling out of his starting gate, Tannhauser swiftly regained his ground and
Nice.
dashed forward. With Reischauer to his right rear, both horses turned the first corner among the front group of horses. After clearing the corner, Machitan and Rice briefly lined up with one another, but moments later,
Come on,
Reischauer
Mambo.
moved up and dueled with Machitan for the ideal position.
Come on,
before
Mambo.
moving into the final corner. Rice overtook Tannhauser and advanced forward into the turn while running on the outside. Meanwhile,
Get those
Machitan
back-to-back
swerved towards
wins.
the inner rail
Ooh.
and exploited the small
Look
opening
at that little
left by the other
squeeze.
horses. Immediately
Genius
after squeezing through
play.
the gap, he spurted forward and claimed the lead in mere moments. With over a 2-length advantage, Machitan barreled
Wow.
towards the goal and finished in first place with an overwhelming victory.
We're back
His
in it.
fans cheered. It's finally happening! The unfinished talent is complete! After the race, Okabe stated, "He broke smoothly and settled perfectly. His
Does this mean that the trainer was correct and we just had to wait and Tannhauser was indeed a late bloomer? And look at me doubting. I can't believe it.
temperament has matured, and he's gained power. We always believed he would bloom at 4. Trainer Ito also chimed in.
He's a late bloomer. If we had tightened him fully at 3, we would have crushed his potential. With generational turnover in mind, we began serious training after the Kikusho. His physique has changed dramatically, and his temperament has matured. He's gained a real turn of foot.
For the next 2 months, Tannhauser did not participate in any races to prepare for their next big goal, the
Tenno
Spring Tenno
Show.
Show. On the 25th of April, the
Sadly, I already know how this one goes too, because, you know, again, famous race.
day of the race, when it came time to move each horse into their respective gates, Meijuro McQueen refused to enter his. Even with 7 handlers urging him on, McQueen did not budge.
He was just
This
nervous.
ordeal delayed the race by 3 minutes before he finally went inside. Once the race started, Meijuro Palmer dashed straight to the
Palms.
front, with McQueen chasing after him. Reischauer and Ikuno Dictus ran in the group behind them, while Matikanetannhauser was placed at the front of the back half. After rounding the first turn, Palmer escaped from the
Pulling him by the tail too. Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering why that was. I'm assuming to nudge him to go forward. I mean, I was going to say, I wonder if that works, but it wasn't. So I guess that answers that question.
group and created an even larger gap than before. which forced everyone to give up their pursuit and switch to a stamina conservation strategy. After reaching the incline, Palmer's ascent forced him to drastically slow down and allowed everyone else to catch up on the downhill. By the time they reached the final corner, Palmer, McQueen, and Reischauer all lined up with one
Here
another
we go.
mid-turn, with Tannhauser about 2 lengths behind. The 3 horses in front simultaneously broke away and escaped Matitan's reach.
Oh,
as
I'm
they
sorry.
ran down the
Did you
home
want a
stretch.
triple crown?
While
Yoink.
the trio
I'm sorry.
fiercely
Did you
fought
want a
for
back-to-back
first,
Tenosha
all
Spring?
Tannhauser could
Yoink.
do was watch. Although no other horse passed him, he had no hope of catching them. Matitan finished the race in 4th place, 6 full lengths behind 3rd.
Always 4th. Poor Mambo.
Dismounting from his horse, Okabe told reporters,
He was simply outclassed. When the pace quickened at the 3rd corner,
No, not
he
the sad
couldn't keep
music.
up. If he can't stay with them there,
His voice fell silent. Without needing to finish his sentence, many fans speculated the words he couldn't bring himself to say were, "He can't win a G1."
No, I refuse. I refuse to believe it.
Tragically, the average horse racing enthusiast already believed this notion, so much that if they saw Matikanetannhauser's name in a G1 race, they automatically eliminated him from their betting prospects.
Damn.
Refusing to give in to despair,
That's messed up.
Matitan's fans steeled their resolve and waited for their Oshi's next race. Their patience paid off because 1 month later, at the 2,400-meter open-grade Maze Stakes, Matikanetannhauser claimed the lead after the final corner and sprinted down the home stretch in first, all the way to the
Nice.
goalpost.
So what you're telling me is Mambo might not be able to win G1s, but she smacks down the easier races. Well, I guess it'd be he because it's actual horse, but whatever. Wins the smaller races. Nice.
His fans cheered. See? It's not the end! He is coming into his own! Sadly, this was a fleeting victory. A month and a half later, on July 11th, Tannhauser recklessly pursued the frontrunner in the 2,000-meter Takamatsunomiya High. From the start of the race until entering the final straight, Machitan ran in second, but when it came time to spurt,
No.
he had exhausted
No.
too much
He's slowing
strength.
down.
Narita Taishin
Oh,
and another
Taishin,
horse
nice.
overtook Tannhauser on the left, causing him to finish in 4th place. Disappointed
Fourth
once
again, by the way.
doubt clouded the fans' minds. Maybe he's not fully complete yet.
Thing number 4, always 4th. Unfortunate.
After a lengthy vacation, Ito entered Machitan into the 1,800-meter open-grade Fuji Stakes to return to proper racing form. With Katsuharu Tanaka on his back, Tannhauser launched out of his gate with ease and established a comfortable position at the front of the back half.
Okay.
40 seconds into the race, he inched up to the middle of the pack while the front-running horse maintained a staggering lead upon entering the 3rd corner.
That is a
About
huge
30
lead.
seconds later,
But
as
they usually
everyone
gas out when they
rounded
go
the
that
final
hard.
turn, Machitan hugged the inside and accelerated past multiple horses.
No wide
He cleared the
swings.
turn and passed the 400-meter marker in 2nd place, about 4 lengths behind the lead.
Go, catch him, catch him.
Only 200 meters remain, and he still had 3 lengths of distance to cover to overtake the frontrunner. With his
There's no
strength
way,
on
right?
full display for
There's no
everyone to
way.
see, Machitan accelerated as
Go,
hard as he
go.
could, past the lead at 50
Oh,
meters remaining,
baby.
and crossed the
Let's
goal
go.
in 1st place. Like riding a roller coaster of emotions, Matikanetannhauser's fans exploded in excitement once again. This is it! It's finally happening!
The roller coaster of cope goes way too hard.
But every roller coaster comes back down in
It's not a pre-watch. Okay.
the end. 2 weeks later, with Okabe back on the saddle, Machitan entered the Japan Cup, facing off against fierce opponents. Starting at the outer gates, Tannhauser sprinted up to the front while veering inwards to get a good spot before the first turn. After securing 3rd place, he maintained his pace through the middle leg, but Reischauer advanced forward after the third corner
Holmes.
and ran by his side in preparation for the final turn. Both Tannhäuser and Reischauer entered the home stretch at the same time, but their positioning only got worse after that. Having burned through all their energy in the early stages of the race, both
Gassed
horses
out.
fell back as everyone passed them.
Man.
Matikanetannhauser ended the race in 15th place as the second to last horse. The phrase, "maybe he can't win a G1 after all," crept back into the fans' minds yet again. Their
15th.
doubts
Rice was
only
14th.
worsened after Yukio Okabe left Matitan to go ride Biwa Hayahide in the upcoming Arima Kinen. His replacement was Yoshiomi Shibata, who had just won the Autumn Tenno Show with Yaminin Zephyr. The day after Christmas, Matikanetannhauser entered the Arima Kinen as the 13th favorite, where
Do they ever explain why Rice has that knife? Because she's such a cinnamon roll. What is she even going to do with that knife? For the stabby stabs? Because Black Assassin? Because her nickname, bruh? Well, I know because of, it's supposed to be her gimmick, but it's so weird. And especially like her sheathing it, like right there. Oh, I guess, well, she's more putting it on her hip. Like, I get it because of the name, but I'm just thinking of Rice as a character. I feel like she would be screaming, holding a knife.
Kinen as the 13th favorite, where he would face off against major contenders like Tokai Teo and Biwa Hayahide. Once again, this was another race Umamusume fans were well aware of.
Yep.
But even if Tokai Teo ends up winning the race,
Let Teo come
a
back.
very important detail needs to be pointed out in regards to Tannhäuser. After leaving the final corner, Matitan entered the home stretch at the far back with 10 opponents to his front. From there, while hugging the inner rail, Matikanetannhauser accelerated past 6 other horses, including Reischauer, winning ticket, Majoro Palmer, and then finished the race in 4th, which gave him the fastest time.
Another 4th, by the way. And of course, who gets 3rd? As nature intended.
Time for the final 3 furlongs of the race. Commenting on his unbelievable spurt, Shibata said, "I gambled everything on the stretch run, and he extended far more than I expected. With that kind of run, he did extremely well." Like a broken record, Machitan's fans shouted the words, "He is getting stronger! He just wasn't complete yet! He can compete in G1s!"
Yeah, he wasn't done collecting all the pieces of Exodia, but he's almost got them all now. Coping so much. They are coping pretty hard, but you know what? Sometimes you need a little bit of Coca-Cola,
After a short 1-month winter break, Machitan returned to the Nakayama racecourse to compete against some of his Team Canopus members.
And there
in
goes
the
Twin
American
Turbo.
Jockey Club Cup.
Zoom.
To no one's surprise, Twin Turbo burst out of his starting gate leading the pack, while Tannhäuser comfortably ran towards the back, behind Nice Nature's left rear.
Oisu.
While Turbo continuously increased his lead, everyone else paid him no mind and steadily ran at their own pace during the middle leg. As expected, the large gap between Twin Turbo and the other racers diminished when approaching the final corner. As Nice
Poor
Nature
Turbo.
advanced towards the front in anticipation of the turn, Matikanetannhauser maintained his original spot. After entering the home stretch from the far outside while 3rd from the back, Tannhäuser summoned the powerful acceleration he showed last month and
Ooh.
spurted towards the front.
Go,
In the
go,
last
go,
200
go,
meters,
go,
Machitan
go.
overtook every single other
Holy.
horse and crossed the finish line in 1st by a head's length.
I did not think they were going to win that. I was like, okay, this is what could be like 2nd, 3rd. But no, they went the entire way with it. Okay, I respect it. I doubted Mambo, and look what I get. Shame for daring to do so.
After the race, trainer Ito told reporters,
Shibata likes to conserve power. He suits the horse well. He's fully developed G1 level ability now.
clamoring in excitement, the fans responded to Ito's words. "Finally, he's complete! This is it!" But 2 months later at the Nikkei show, Machitan could not live up to their expectations. After entering the home stretch in 5th, Shibata commanded Tannhäuser to accelerate and displayed his strong spurt as before. But the horses to his front were just too far ahead, and not enough
You
distance
can do
remained.
it.
Although Machitan managed to pass Twin Turbo and another horse, he could not catch up to the others and cross the goal in third
No.
place, behind by just half a length.
Well, third's better than fourth,
Even when
right?
their favorite horse lost a G2, Machitan's fans remain resilient. The true test lies at next month's Spring Tenno show. Sadly, Tannhauser could not hold his own against powerful stayers like Biwa Hayahide and Norita Taishin.
Yeah.
As if the competition wasn't tough enough.
Is this the
unlucky
decline
Machitan
from the
got
pink?
blocked by another horse after passing
Not pink. Peak. Words are hard.
the 200-meter marker, which resulted in a 5th place finish, losing to Nice Nature by a neck. There was no difference in his performance 3 weeks later at the G3K
Ooh,
High either.
This is rough.
Despite coming out of the final corner in 5th while running along the inner rail and exchanging places with several horses, the result was the same. Tannhauser could not produce
Machitan really likes fourth and fifth. I see that.
a win and finished in 5th place. It's always 4th or 5th.
The fourth, fifth
Maybe
queen.
he really is lacking power. Then, in next month's Takarazuka Kinen, whatever hope the fans had left was completely crushed. Pushed to the far outside along the last turn, Machitan arrived at the final straight among the back row of horses. In unison, every competitor burst forward, and half of the horses who were lined up with Tannhauser broke away. Sadly, Biwa Hayahide's display of strength stole the camera's focus, and Machitan did not appear on screen again until he crossed the finish line in 9th place.
Ouch.
He's always one step behind. He really isn't G1 class. Dejected from repetitive defeats, Tannhauser's fans gave up. It's said they had to stop looking at him in the paddock going forward because seeing him made them want to bet on him. But doing so was akin to throwing your money away. Still,
What about all the Chad Haru batters, though? They didn't care. They just said, yeah, my Ushi's gonna lose, but I'm gonna bet on Haru anyway. We had the lonely, sad Mambo batters. It was like, well, he's gonna lose, so I don't want to burn my money and waste it. Then you have the Chad Haru batters that go, yeah, I'm gonna bet everything I have on her. I know she's gonna lose. And based.
Matikanetannhauser and his team did not give up and entered the Mainichi Okan in early October after summer break. But nothing changed. Maybe he got rusty after such a long break because Machitan entered the final corner at the very back of the pack. With over
That is not
400
good.
meters on the final straight, he passed a handful of horses while sprinting next to the inner rail in pursuit of
Ooh, who's that gray horse in the back?
Sakura Bakshino. But his speed dwindled after the 200-meter marker. The 3rd place he briefly held was overtaken by 2 other horses, which caused him to cross the goal behind Bakshino by a nose. Afterwards,
Fifth again.
Machitan remained at Tokyo Racecourse since his next race was the Autumn Tenno show at the end of the month, but his competition was incredibly strong. Placed at the far back when entering the final corner, Matikanetannhauser accelerated through the turn, but was met with a wall of horses to his
Yeah.
front.
I just hear it in my head. If you're blocked, you're blocked.
Seeing a narrow path next to the inner rail,
Oh,
he
squeezing
swerved to the
through?
left and overtook
The old
multiple
squeeze
horses in
technique?
the process. As the
Let's
other
go.
racers started their spurts, an opening to Machitan's front appeared. Taking advantage of the situation, he
Come on.
promptly squeezed
Come
into
on.
the gap at the 200-meter marker and sped towards the goal. Sadly, just a few
No.
meters before the finish line, another horse passed him on the right and stole his 3rd place position by a neck. Later on, she
It's just destiny. Fourth must be your place. Fourth or fifth, at least when it comes to a G1.
Bata stated, "He finished well, but the pace was too slow." As the saying goes, pace makes the race, and a slow pace favors frontrunners while being disadvantageous for horses like Machitan, who prefer unleashing their full power at the end. Reinvigorated from Machitan's strong showing, optimism filled his fans' hearts. In the weeks leading up to the Japan Cup, during one of their training sessions, Ito declared,
In terms of condition, he's not inferior to the foreign horses. The Japan Cup is usually run at a fast pace.
True.
This time, the race should finally suit him. 5 of his wins were at Tokyo. We'll be sure to take advantage of the home turf. With winning ticket retired, it's time for the former supporting actor Tannhauser to carry the banner.
From
Not
supporting
only
role
did
to
Winning Ticket
star.
retire, but both Biwa Hayahide and Narita Taishin also retired on account of injury. Additionally, multiple high-profile G1 horses were skipping out on the Japan Cup as well, such as Rice Shower due to a fracture, Kishi Amazon in favor of running the Queen Elizabeth Cup, and Narita Bryan opted out to prepare for the Arimakinen. Not a single Japanese G1 winning horse would be present at this year's Japan Cup. Wait, does this mean
This might be it. This might really be it.
let today be the day?
Here she is, the GOAT.
We're cheering for you, Machitan! November 27, 1994. 15 horses entered Tokyo Racecourse's turf for their warm-up canter, but only 5 were Japanese. Of the 5, Matikanetannhauser and Marvelous
Nature.
Crown showed the most promise, but Tannhauser was more developed as an older horse and had more G2 victories. Eager to bet on Japanese horses, many attendees patriotically placed their bets on Matitan even when they had never supported him before. 15 minutes before the race, as every competitor gathered behind their starting gates, Machitan's fans enthusiastically looked for their favorite horse.
Yeah.
But
The old
he
footage
could
is a bit
not be
crunchy.
found on the track.
Attention, please. Number 8. Matikanetannhauser has been withdrawn due to epistaxis.
Wait,
Oh.
nosebleed? That's such an important moment. You,
So this is
you
why.
silly horse. He must have gotten too fired up, and it just came out.
Bonk.
Smiling from ear to ear, fans laugh. Well, that's Machitan.
What's funny is earlier I thought because they said he had a weird looking nose, that's why the nosebleed was a reference, but no, it just actually happened.
Surprisingly, all anyone could do was laugh at the situation. It was just too unbelievable. Plus, it's not like anyone lost money over it. All bets on Tannhauser were refunded.
Oh, so they do get refunded. I'm surprised. I don't think that would be a thing here. If you bet on something and then the horse is unable to perform, I don't think you would get a refund here, at least in the US. I don't know though. I don't do horse betting, so maybe?
He was forced to withdraw before the race started. According to JRA rules, any horse experiencing a nosebleed between the time of saddling until after exiting the racetrack post-race will be suspended for 1 month. Since horses can only breathe through their nose, epistaxis can severely restrict airflow and be dangerous for a racehorse.
Yeah, you don't want a horse that is struggling to breathe to be running and exerting themselves. That just sounds like asking for the worst possible situation.
Luckily, the bleeding was temporary, and the suspension did not interfere with Machitan's next race. But from this day forward, he became known as Anajibu no Uma, the horse of nosebleeds.
Huh.
The next month, fans evaluating the racehorse predictions noticed many of the Arimakinen competitors were poorly rated, except for Narita Bryan. They were painfully aware Machitan had no shot against the Triple Crown winner, but compared to the rest of the field, he might have a chance for a top 3 placement. After all, he had raced and beaten several of these horses before.
Very true.
One day before the race, jockey Shibata gave a comment about Tannhauser.
He feels just like he did last time I rode him. The nosebleed from the Japan Cup doesn't seem to have affected him. He's calm and ready. I'm looking
Alright.
forward to it.
4th place, calling it now.
On the day of the race, Matikanetannhauser's name was not listed on the entry list.
Wait, again?
It was cancelled.
Why?
He must have gotten too fired up again, and something came out. Something did come out, but it wasn't blood. It was hives. This
Oh.
horse Honestly,
Sick
I
again.
thought he was an unfinished elite, but somewhere along the way, he became a comedy character. Interestingly, this incident attracted more people in becoming Machitan fans. As for how
I mean, it is adorable in a way.
Tannhauser suddenly got hives, a rumor spread about him accidentally eating a spider that got into his feed bucket, but there was no witness or evidence to back up the claim. After Umamusume added Matikanetannhauser to the game, a huge debate sparked among Japanese players about whether he ate a spider or not, and that news eventually reached veterinarian journalist
Would I eat a spider? I would try it. Yeah, I would try it.
Takahiro Wakahara, which prompted a thorough investigation. After Wakahara contacted trainer Sasada, who was the senior assistant at Yuji Ito's stable during Machitan's time, Sasada said, "It's not like anyone actually saw him eat a spider. The hives were limited to his face. In the stable world, there's an old saying that when a horse gets that kind of localized facial rash, it's spider hives, the kind that's said to appear when a horse eats a spider." Sasada also mentioned that after a reporter asked trainer Ito about Machitan's hives, he jokingly remarked, "Maybe he ate a spider or something." Afterwards, numerous
And then a joke turned into a rumor, and then the rumor turned into a fact, and then the fact got debunked and turned into a rumor. Hilarious.
newspaper outlets ran articles with the headline, "Tannhauser scratched after eating a spider." Little did the trainer know how much of an impact that simple joke made on the future. But thanks
Fact turned into a, do you know that in Umamusume, Matikanetannhauser ate a spider? There we go. What do you guys think? Think I could ship it and sell it?
to him, us Umamusume players get to enjoy all the hilariously adorable scenes about Machitan's fear of spiders. Okahara ended his article stating that hives can be triggered by not only eating foreign substances like spiders, but also by drug reactions or as a stress response from the body, such as a sudden drop in temperature. He claims identifying the cause for hives is rare, and the only way to confirm if Tannhauser actually ate a spider was to examine the contents of his stomach. Which
You know what? The only way to find out is for you to eat a spider. And then if you break out in hives, then you know it's true. That's the investigative journalism I want to see.
obviously did not happen. Okahara firmly believes Machitan did not eat a spider. To this day, nobody knows the definitive cause of his hives. They say trouble comes in threes, and in the new year, Machitan was forced to withdraw from the American Jockey Club Cup due to inexplicably contracting phlegmon, a bacterial infection underneath the skin, which results in inflammation and pus buildup. Tannhauser had to sit out for all of spring season and did not return to the racetrack until early July. Once news of Machitan's illness went public, many fans jokingly called him the department store of illnesses. But as the months passed, their light-hearted jokes turned into concern and worry. Those feelings were amplified after seeing him in the Takamatsunomiya High. Worried about his 14-kilogram weight loss, Machitan's fans
6 months of recovery for that? Holy.
prayed, "Please, no more illnesses. Just be safe." Starting from the second innermost
The comeback.
gate,
Let's
Matikanetannhauser
go. I believe.
casually ran out and gave way to another horse to take the lead. While running behind two horses, a small gap opened on his right, and out of nowhere, Hishi Amazon crammed herself into the narrow area. After barely running 200 meters, Hishi Amazon was among the front-running horses, which was very uncharacteristic of her, as she typically runs at the far back. Just a few moments later, before even arriving
Is everyone
at the
about to get
first corner,
Amazoned?
Hishi Amazon stole the lead while Tannhauser stayed around 5th from the front. For the next 800 meters on the long straight, including the uphill section just
Come on,
before the third
Machitan.
corner,
Come on.
every other horse maintained their pace as they comfortably ran behind Hishi Amazon. Only after entering the final corner
Come
did the other
on.
horses make a move for the
Come
front.
on.
Tannhauser, who still held his 5th place position after entering the home stretch, accelerated forward, veered to the right to get around another horse, and
You can
continued
do it.
sprinting down the straight.
Get at least above
Less than
4th.
200 meters remain, and he
Get
still
3rd.
had not passed a single horse. Then, in the final 100
Oh.
meters,
Go,
Matikanetannhauser
go,
burst
go.
forward, overtook the
Wow.
4 horses to his front,
Wow.
and crossed the goal in first with a 1 length difference.
Let's go.
Cheering and laughing at the same time, his fans shouted, "Today! It's the day! This horse, honestly, he's become too funny!"
Today's the day. He's finally reached his peak, guys. Now's the time he's gonna start winning.
Truth be told, none of his fans expected Tannhauser to win, especially not against Hishi Amazon, who had a 12 top 2 win streak.
Jeez.
Fun fact, 1995's Takamatsunomiya High was the last year it was designated as a 2,000 meter race. From 1996 and on, this race became the 1200 meter G1 we know from the game. So Machitan is technically the undefeated
Wow.
reigning champion for the 2,000 meter Takamatsunomiya High. The next day's paper published
That's the AA Moon special.
an interview with Machitan's trainer and jockey. Ito stated,
Third time's the charm. After causing so much trouble, we were desperate to send him out safely this time. We changed many things in training. It's been a long road. Maybe the break helped him mentally. A horse who never ran well in training is now posting great times on the uphill track.
when asked about the Takamatsunomiya High, Shibata remarked,
He ran far better than expected. He's become more versatile. I'm excited for what's next.
Naturally, these comments made Tannhauser's fans incredibly hopeful. But given his past performance patterns,
You never know.
I think we all know what's to come.
4th and 5th.
About a month and a half later, Matikanetannhauser entered the G3 Hakodate Kinen and started near the middle in gate number 7. After calmly leaving, Machitan ran towards the front of the back half. Leaning to the far outside while going around the first corner, he secured a good position and maintained that spot throughout the middle leg. As the pack approached the last turn, Machitan pushed farther up the ranks until he was among the top 5 horses and came out of the corner fighting for 4th. Sadly,
Go.
he exhausted too much energy doing so.
Tuckered
because
out.
Several horses passed
Oh
him on
no.
the short
Yeah,
home
slipping
stretch.
back.
By the
Oh
time
no.
he crossed the finish line,
That's like
Tannhauser
12th.
barely managed to get 8th place.
Okay, 8th.
2 months later, at the Fall Tenno Show, despite Ito claiming Machitan was in perfect condition, his performance proved otherwise. After entering the 4th corner in mid-pack,
Oh,
while being
squeeze
next
through.
to the inner rail,
Squeeze.
Machitan found himself in a
Do the
favorable
squeeze
spot
technique.
towards the front. Increasing his acceleration, he was briefly tied for second.
Oh,
but
wait,
400
Narita Bryan's in
meters
this?
remained, and that
Okay.
was enough time for a handful of horses
It's over.
to overtake him. Holding on for as long as he can, Tannhauser desperately defended his
Yaman and
position.
Zephyr, though?
But in the end, 4 horses gained the advantage and forced Machitan into a 6th
Yaman and
place
Zephyr, though?
finish.
Damn.
As if that wasn't bad enough, he fared even worse in next month's Japan Cup. Running on the inside, Machitan entered the final corner in
Oh,
the
if you're
back.
blocked, you're
He
blocked.
came out of the corner in the back. An
Yeah.
entire cluster of horses completely blocked his path to the front and to his right.
Unfortunate.
There was no room to accelerate on the final straight.
It's Brian of 95. He's going through Arthritis Hill. I forgot about that. Yeah, that makes sense.
And by the time an opening presented itself, it was too late. Machitan finished the race at an excruciating 12th place.
Ouch.
Considering his poor placement and being 6 years of age, Matikanetannhauser's next race at the G3 Stayers Stakes was his last.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to have a
Starting from
poor,
gate number
poor
3,
performance here, right?
Tannhauser rushed to the front in pursuit of the front-running horse, but steadily fell to 3rd to conserve stamina for the long 3,600-meter distance. After going through the first turn, the leading horse attempted to break farther away from the pack, but everyone sped up in response. while the other horses accelerated.
Come on, at
Machitan
least
maintained
top
his
3.
pace,
If you're not
and as
gonna
a
win,
result, dropped his location to the middle.
3.
The mid-race continued with
Come
small
on.
changes as Machitan moved between 5th and 3rd place until he finally settled in 5th when entering the
You
final
can do it,
turn. But he
Machitan.
quickly fell behind after entering the home stretch.
Oh, please.
Tragically, the fluctuation of pace and position during the race drained
Oh.
too much of his energy. Tannhauser's last spurt of his career was less than ordinary. He ended his final
Oh.
race in 7th place.
Wow.
Soon after, Matikanetannhauser quietly retired from racing. His final record stands at 32 starts and 8 wins, 4 of which were in graded races, but none of his 14 attempts at a G1 proved victorious.
It's alright. He was a shadow G1 winner.
Despite having 0 G1
Or a phantom G1 winner.
victories, Machitan earned the most prize money out of all Northern Taste offspring at 517 million yen.
Damn.
Additionally, he placed 4th 8 times during his career, which was the same amount of 3rd place finishes Nice Nature accrued during his career. In the game, there's an Easter egg about Machitan's consistent 4th place finishes when she goes to the shopping district and tries her hand at the lottery, but ends up pulling only the 4th place prize
Yeah, 500 million yen with a non-G1 is pretty crazy.
after numerous attempts. In the new year, owner Hosokawa sent Tannhauser to Breeder Stallion Station to begin his stud life, but he underperformed as much as he did during his racing days, despite having a strong pedigree. Over the course of 8 years as a stud, Machitan only sired 45 foals, and although more than half were winning horses, none were in graded races.
Oh.
Aside from the performance of his offspring, there were 2 main reasons Machitan
He doesn't have that golden gravy like Gold Chip or Stay Gold.
was an unsuccessful stallion. Firstly, after the massive success from Sunday Silence's first crop of foals, such as the undefeated 4-win Fujikiseki, Genuine and Tayasu Tsuyoshi, who achieved 1st and 2nd in 1995's Satsuki show, and then vice versa for the Japanese Derby, Sunday Silence overwhelmingly became the most desired stallion in all of Japan and dethroned Northern Taste as their leading sire. The second
Ooh,
and
he's an
most
angry boy.
influential reason stems from Tannhauser's sire, Northern Taste. I intentionally left out one important detail about Machitan's pedigree. Northern Taste was significantly inbred. After Tokino Minoru's insanely successful racing career in 1951, many Japanese
We saw
horse
nothing.
producers utilized a pedigree theory called Fitzlack's 18.75% theory, or more commonly known as the miracle blood percentage. This theory states that a 4x3 inbreed, horses with a common ancestor in the 4th and 3rd generation of their pedigree, draws out desirable traits while minimizing harmful effects such as a weak constitution, fragility, and temperamental problems. However, some breeders became too eager to extract beneficial traits, which led to dangerously high levels of inbreeding, such as Northern Taste. He
I
had
see.
double the ideal shared blood ratio.
37.5% inbred. Sounds like Southern America.
Although Northern Taste had amazing bones and muscles, his appearance was so unattractive that people said he looked like a dog or a goat. But at least he was healthy. Sadly, that was not the case for Matikanetannhauser. Thanks to his chain of illnesses, most breeders assumed he developed a genetic disease that reduced his immune system. The fear of passing that on to his offspring made him an unwanted stallion. What everyone initially thought was an elite pedigree became a double-edged sword for the poor horse in his later years.
No.
In 2006, Machitan retired from stud and was sent to Machikane Farm to spend his retirement days in relaxation. 4 years later, on April 30th, 2010, Matikanetannhauser and Matikane Fukukitaru were moved to Kosuda Farm to live out the rest of their
Hey.
life. Their
The
stables were
Machis.
right next to each other, and they grazed in the pasture adjacent to one another as well. Quick side note. In the game, Tannhauser mentions how her parents own a family restaurant. Neither owner Hosokawa nor trainer Ito own a restaurant. But you know who does? Kosuda Farm. Aside from housing retired horses, Kosuda also functions as a riding ranch with a restaurant to service their visitors. Additionally, Machitan also mentions she has a little brother. Looking at Cripsy's foals, only one of them is Machitan's full brother, Victory Mark. According to the
So her
farm's
little brother's
owner,
named Mark.
Minoru Kosuda, Machitan had a gentle and absent-minded personality. Nothing ever bothered him. Even when Fukukitaru kept pestering Tannhauser by getting into his personal space, Machitan completely ignored him, unless Fuku interrupted his meals. That was the only time he ever showed aggression. He had
Understandable.
a strong appetite, but no matter how much he ate, he barely gained any weight because of chronic intestinal issues.
I was about to say, Grass Wonder probably could have used some of that, but never mind, it was due to health issues.
Funnily, the owner claims Machitan could distinguish the sound of the horse feed delivery truck. The owner also added it seemed like Tannhauser preferred to spend his time alone and looked perfectly comfortable by himself, which made
Based.
Kosuda grateful to all the people visiting him. About 200 people came to the ranch every year just to see Tannhauser and Fukukitaru. Both horses were very receptive to their visitors. You could walk right up, pet, and feed them carrots. It's also said that Machitan would show signs of disappointment if someone did not pet him. Additionally, a large portion of Tannhauser's biggest supporters were female because they loved how he kept trying his best during his racing career, even though he continuously kept underperforming. In the short time Machitan spent at Kosuda Farm, he received over 100 kilograms of carrots and apples from female fans.
Nice.
Tragically, just 3
Imagine getting gifts from females. Couldn't be me. I need to stop making that joke, I swear.
years after moving to Kosuda Farm, Machikanetannhauser succumbed to his chronic intestinal problems and passed away due to colic on
Oh.
December 7th, 2013, at the age of 24.
Rest in peace.
From early on, people presumptuously
Another colic victim, yup.
placed great expectations on Machitan, but he could not produce the result they wanted. He earnestly ran his best for 5 years, seizing what little victories he could, only to find out he was not the star. He was ordinary. But that run-of-the-mill average outcome was what made him so relatable and attracted many fans to his side. Tannhauser may have been ordinary on the racetrack, but through a series of unfortunate events, he became extraordinary in the hearts of those who supported him. By a strange twist of fate, and with the help of Umamusume Pretty Derby, Matikanetannhauser is easily one of the most popular and well-known horses of today.
True. Very
There are
true.
many things we cannot control. We don't get to choose our parents. We cannot command the desires of other people. We don't get to decide when luck favors us or casts us to the shadows. The only power we have is deciding how to handle the current situation and what the next step is. If you ever feel like you're always one step behind, or you don't live up to those around you, remember, life works in strange ways. What may be a bad stroke of luck right now might just make you a star in the future.
True. Very true. I mean, look at me. I'm an idiot with no talent, no skills, but I can say a ha-ha or two. And it somehow works out.
Big shout out to my 2 members, Lince Nico and Katzen Wells. Your extra support means a lot to me.
And again, Yang the legend shouts out his members and gives them a little spot in his videos. Me, you get nothing. Because I'm a lazy a-hole.
Of course, I appreciate all you guys watching and commenting in my videos as well. As a token of thanks, I'll raffle out this gangster-looking Tannhauser figure to one lucky person. To enter,
Damn.
just comment down below, Hanaji-bu. I'll draw the winner at the end of April. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Alrighty, amazing video by Yang. We finally got around to watching it. This video is 3 months old, and it was probably sent to me to watch when it was 3 days old. So, you know what? We got to it in the end, right? One of these days I will catch up. Today is not that day.